friends, welcome to my channel. I am so excited that you are here today, and if this is your first time here, my name is Tina Sutton with Miss Ginger Dots Designs, and it is July 31st, so we are going to do one last Christmas in July, and let's talk one of my favorite traditions, Christmas cards. Every year I'm getting less and less Christmas cards, and I do not want this tradition to become extinct. So my purpose is to teach you a quick pattern where you can make cards in a matter of minutes and with very few supplies. So let's turn this camera around, let's get crafting, and let's make Christmas cards. So today's video is to show you how to make quick but simple and elegant Christmas cards. My birthday was in June this year, and with my Stampin' Up team, we celebrate each other's birthdays and send each other birthday cards. It's just something that we do. There's no requirements if you want to. Well, my birthday was June 21st, and my mailbox during the whole month of June was flooded with cards. And it made me feel so special. People just don't send cards like they used to. But I think if you're on the other end of receiving, it's really, really important. So I love the tradition of holiday cards rather than doing so many social media. Oh, how, too busy to send a Christmas card, Merry Christmas. How does that make you feel? I mean, even if you get a card that's made for you, that's very simple, it speaks volumes. So not every card has to be like a fun fold, wowie card. They can be simple and elegant, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. And most of all, affordable. So first of all, let me just talk about what we're going to use. The paper, I just absolutely love this paper. It's an online exclusive. It is called The Season of Green and Gold. And I don't know if you can see the shimmer. I've talked about this on other videos. Just absolutely beautiful paper. And they all mix and match. So that's the back side. The back side's not quite as glittery as the front sides, but it's just beautiful paper. But in order to make these cards, the pattern that I'm going to show you, you get 6 cards out of one sheet. So one pack of paper with 12 sheets, 6 times 12, do the math. You can get quite a few cards out of one paper packet. So what we're going to use is the Greetings of Season stamp set. And we're only going to really use one stamp set out of it. I love this one. It's the most wonderful time of the year. That's the one I've chosen to use for this card. I'm going to use a Mossy Meadow stamp pad, and the embellishments, very simple cherry cobbler embellishments. This is close to my heart, shimmer trim, which I think will be very beautiful with this card. I'm going to show you I've got some samples made with the same pattern and the same paper pack, just different print that I'm going to show you so you can see how different the cards look. With those, I just used leftover paper. This I'm going to take it a step further just to make this card a little more fancy if you wanted to go that route. I'm just trying to show you some modifications. So we're going to use one sheet of paper, one sheet of our gold foil paper, and one sheet of white daisy cardstock. So first of all, let's cut this beautiful paper, which is so hard to do. This is the pattern. It's striped on one side and leafy on the other. And so we're going to, so the base of your card. You can cut your own 8.5 by 11 sheet of white cardstock in half and get 2 cards, or for convenience and time's sake, I'm just going to use pre-folded or cards that are already cut for you with envelopes, just to save time, because this is all about quick and easy, right? So these cards, I don't know if you can see, they're 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper already scored for me. There are pre-packaged cards, I guess is what you want to call them. So these are 4 1/4 by 5.5. So I'm going to cut this paper a 1/4 of an inch shorter. So I'm gonna, so instead of 4.5, I'm gonna, because I want a little bit of a border to show, I'm gonna cut it 4 inches. So just to make it quick and simple, I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of these first. Okay, so they're all 4 inches. So see, they're gonna fit this way with just a little bit of a border. And then instead of cutting it 5.5, I'm gonna cut it 5.25. Actually, you could probably cut all 3 pieces together. I'm gonna be brave and try to do this on camera. 5.25. So you will get 2 in this direction. All right, and then this is going to be leftover paper. So I'm just going to put that aside. This is what you can use to cut your strips. I'll explain a little bit more about this later at the end of the video. So here's a stack, okay? I've got enough to make 6 cards. Do you see how simple that was? Now what I'm going to do is take these cards. Let's go 3 and 3. We're going to make them a little different. And I'm going to cut 2 inches off the bottom. So if they were 5.25, I'm going to go to 3.25. And it'll be 2 inches over here. I'll make sure these are straight. Again, I'm being brave, cutting them all at once. Okay, so these are going to go, look, do you see where I'm going with this? These are going to go in one pile. I'm going to do the same thing, 3.25. Which is really just 2 inches. Or I could go over here and go 2 inches because I'm cutting 2 inches off. But the reason I'm cutting it 3.25, this bar here will help keep this paper from twisting or turning. It keeps your cuts more straight, I feel. So that's, I always try to cut where I have the biggest margin. All right. And so we're going to make 6 cards, but we're going to make them slightly different. So instead of flipping these, I'm going to flip the top part. So we're going to make 3 and 3. So you're going to see how quick these cards go together. So let me fold my cards in half. Where's my whatchamacallit to get them nice and flat? My bone folder, my whatchamacallit, right? Now, this is what I'm also famous for. When I'm in a hurry, I throw them down this way, and a lot of times I'll make my cards backwards. So I got to think about the direction that my cards go, so I don't. Anybody else do that? Anybody else glue your cards upside down or backwards? I think it's happened to all of us at one point, no matter how careful we are. Nice and flat, just because it will make it a little bit easier. How many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more. So you can imagine I'm going to probably do this in maybe 20 minutes while talking. So if I were just working on my own, you know, I could probably get this whole pack done in a matter of hours and have homemade cards to send to somebody rather than going to Walmart or a social media, you know. I mean, it's nice to send homemade cards, especially at the holidays. So 1, I think I did more than 6, 2, 3, 4, yeah, I did 7. I can't count today, but that's okay. All right, and then we're just going to glue these down. Now, let me show you this. So we're going to do these 3 with the largest piece being the solid and the smallest piece being this. So just to show you how you can get variety, because if you know me, I don't like to do the same thing over and over. I love to design, but for me, I've said this almost every video, to make the same thing over and over is torture. I have to change it up. So these will all be different if I did this whole pack of paper the same way, if I use the same pattern, which is a great way, which is probably what I'm going to do for my Christmas cards. I don't know that I will use all the same paper, but I love this pattern because it's doable, right? I don't have to make, you know, 50 different designs. Okay, just to, what am I doing here? No, okay, so I'm doing these 3 the same. But if I want to change it up a bit, instead of putting this on the top, I can put this piece on the bottom and give it a different look. even though it's basically the same card. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm gluing my paper on crooked is what I'm doing. Oh, it's so hard to talk and do this. And I know I say this every video. I say it like a broken record, but it's just a little more difficult. I have a new camera holder, though, that I like a lot better. And it does make it a little bit easier for me to see what I'm doing. Not a lot, a little bit. Okay. Now, see, same card, same pieces, but a little bit of a different look. Okay. And let's do this third one. I don't know which way I like it better. I'm just gonna, doesn't really matter. So even though these are the same pieces and the same paper, you can change up your look just a little bit. If you're like me. Now some people, most of my friends actually, they're like, oh, I'll come do your cards for you. To them, it's relaxing to do the same thing over and over, you know, the same pattern. But for me, my brain just doesn't work that way. Okay. So these pieces, I'm going to just go ahead and glue on. Whichever way, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to make them. Let's just put them in piles so I can kind of see what I'm doing. These are two bottoms. So this is going to be the big piece at the top. And then let's do the big piece, printed piece at the bottom. So see how what I'm doing, they're all kind of the same card, but just a little variation. And again, normally when I'm doing my lives with you guys, I'm trying to show you fancy stuff, but sometimes simple is good. So these are all, see, these three pieces all have the big green piece. These three pieces will all have the big printed piece. And I don't know which way I like it better, so I'm just not even going to think about it. I'm just going to glue it down. Oh my goodness, my dogs are out playing in the yard. I don't know if you heard that. They just turned over the water bowl. They like to go for their morning swim, so they've been out swimming. My husband is watching them. He's working from home today, too. Okay, so there you go. Now, I can leave these like this, or I can take it a step farther and put some shimmer on it, which I think is really pretty. So, let me go ahead and cut these pieces. It's also going to cover up when I'm not straight. This is shimmer trim. You could use Stampin' Up! Glitter paper. Stampin' Up! Does not have shimmer trim yet, but I know a lot of you have it in the stash, and I just wanted to show, actually, I had a customer ask me. She said, I have all this shimmer trim. I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, okay, I'll do a video and show you. So it's really good for anywhere that you would maybe put a zip strip. You know what, to make this easier, I'm just going to go all the way across, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Even though there's a border. So just be easier and give it a snip. Okay, there's one down. This is the hardest part, putting on the putting on the shimmer trim. I don't usually work with shimmer trim on camera. It's usually, it's crooked. It sticks pretty good too, so if you have to reposition it, the sooner you peel it off, the better. And there's two. Now, I'm going to get ahead of myself a little bit. Oh, gosh, it's sticking everywhere. while I'm finishing this, let's talk about sentiments and design. So a lot of times, I mean, there is nothing more than I love is a fancy design that you color and you put, you know, shimmer brushes, or you emboss and you watercolor. I love that. That's fun, right? That's our art. But again, realistically, if you want to send a homemade card to all your friends and family, it's kind of hard to do that unless you work on them all year long. So if you're like me and you wait, even though I'm in this business and this is what I do, I always wait till the last minute because I want to see what the latest and greatest paper is. And, you know, anytime I've made cards early, by the time the holidays roll around, I don't like it anymore. I want to do something. I'm not in that kind of mood. So I wait till the last minute. So this is really what I'm targeting today, is just fast, easy, but beautiful, and something that will make somebody say, oh, she loved me enough to make me a card. I'm telling you, it's the best feeling in the world. Today's age, computers are fantastic. I couldn't live without a computer. I mean, that's how I run 99% of my business. But some of the old-fashioned things, like homemade cards and making cookies and candy and remembering your neighbors and your teachers and your, you know, people from your church, there's nothing wrong with that. And I wish we had more of that in our society. We've gotten away from that a lot. Okay, so there's my bases. The hardest part of this card so far has been getting the shimmer trim on. So look how pretty that is already. And I could send those and it would be nice, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I am going to take my white daisy paper and I'm going to cut 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I've got 6 cards, so I need 6 squares. Again, we're making them the same. So I'm not going to have to think about it. I'm just going to do it. I will put the dimensions of these cards in the bottom of this video. There's not really a need. A lot of times I like to give you guys a cutting guide and all of that. Oh, I just cut that wrong. That was 3 3. That's what happens when I'm talking. I give you cutting diagrams and stuff like that. Well, this is so easy. You don't need it. I'm just going to put the dimensions at the bottom of this video. Also, I am really trying to be online a little bit more, so if you would subscribe to my channel or like my video, it's very, very much appreciated. Or give me, if you're on Facebook, give me a review. Really, really appreciate that, and that really helps my business. And it helps me bring you guys content. So, okay, here's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 is my number today, right? I don't know how I keep doing that. All right, and then I'm just going to stamp these. I'm going to use one stamp pad. So see, this is very affordable. A lot of times I hear, I love to stamp. It's just an expensive hobby. I can't get into it. You know, if you plan your purchases, this is one stamp set, one paper packet, and embellishments if you want it. And I love this. The most wonderful time of the year. And I love that. That's just a very elegant script. And I think it's very pretty. Let's see how fast this goes. I need to clean that. I'm just going to be careful. I hope. Stampin' Up's inks are a little different than Close to My Hearts. They're a little juicier, and I like them. They are, but I have to be careful not to get too heavy of a hand. Just stamp a lot lighter. I think I'm losing count again. I think this is 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. No, this is 6. Number 5 and number 6. Look, and I didn't smear anything. There we go. Get this out of the way so I don't smudge anything. Okay, so what I could do is just put that on there, and that's a pretty simple card, right? But I'm going to take it one step farther, and I love this paper. It's our gold foil paper. It comes in 12 by 12 sheets, and I think it looks beautiful with this green and gold paper. So I'm going to cut these 3 by 3, and I need 6 of them. Going to bring it up a notch, but you don't have to. This is an extra step. I'm just kind of showing you possibilities to spark your creativity, right? So if you're watching me, normally I'm live on Wednesday nights, but this is pre-recorded because I am in Key West, or somewhere in between here and there. Actually, the day this video goes live, I'm probably heading home, towards home, but I've been in the Keys for a couple weeks and just had a great time. And I'm making the videos ahead of time for you guys. So it's pre-recorded, but I'm not sharing it until the night of. All right, every Wednesday I go live on Facebook at 7 p.m. on my Facebook channel. Okay, see what I'm doing? I'm bringing, the foil takes a little longer. It's slippery and slide. Okay, look at that. There you go. Now, there's several things I could do. I can glue this directly on. I could take our dimensional elements and pop this up. You know, it depends how fancy you want to get. But I'm talking quick and easy today, so I'm just going to do it flat. Where am I? Okay, here they go. I'm going to glue all these first, and then I'm going to glue them to the cards. Give them a chance to dry a little bit. So, my video has been going for 21 minutes. So, I'm not just doing, I'm talking and doing, and I talked probably 5 minutes about what we were going to do. So, just think about it. I'm going to say 15 minutes to make these 6 cards. Maybe 20, depending. You know, and I'm not stamping as fast as I would just because I'm talking and explaining as I go along. So there's really no reason why you can't make Christmas cards. And it's the perfect time. You know, it's kind of well, here in Florida, we're getting towards, we're almost in August. Tomorrow will be August 1st, right? I think this video is going live on the 31st. So it's hot, hurricane season. You know, the fun part of the summer is already over. I can't believe it. So this is a perfect time to start working on your holiday cards. So you might want to order this paper packet, and you might want to just on those really hot dog days of summer, or at night when you're watching TV, this is a relaxing thing to do. Okay, so you see the same card, just a little bit different. Just to keep you from getting bored, right? And as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to show you a couple of other examples. But I'm going to say 20 minutes from start to finish to get 6 cards done like this. And watch this. Wait, how does this one open? Let me make sure I don't mess it up. No, let's do this one. Okay. We can even go that way with it. Look at there, look at there. You can turn them any which way you want. Just be sure that you have the opening, which I was about to do it wrong, on the right hand side. I had them laid out, but then I get talking and I move things around. There we go. All right, so look at here. They're simple, but they're pretty. But I don't think whoever you give them to is going to care if it's a fun fold or just a plain card. Now, we can take it a step farther. What I want to do, let me show you some other samples that I did before I did this video. So these are these 6 cards. Let's just kind of put them, these are the ones we made today. I haven't added any elements or anything on it. I don't know where my elements went. They were just right here before I started and I moved them. Oh, here they are. So let's just do this real quick before I show you the others. You can take a group of 3. You know, I could stick it down here, whatever you want to do, wherever you feel. Actually, I like that there. And let's do one here, kind of at the top of the T. And that just gives it a little bit more. I could draw squigglies around it. I can add a bow. Right now, I'm just going to put those aside, and I'm going to show you some varieties. Okay, these 6 cards that I was going to that I'm about to show you was made. I thought I was going to show you the paper. From this paper, okay? So it's going to kind of give it a totally different look. And I've added ribbon to this, which I'm going to go back and add ribbon here as well. So let's look at these 6. Now this I used a different sentiment. May your holiday season be filled with warm and cheerful celebration. That's from the same stamp set. That's this one. So here you go. But let me show you something a little bit different. So when I was playing around making these cards, I thought, well, I wonder how these white or these iridescent ones would look. Well, I didn't really like that. You can't really see it, okay? So what I did was I took my green Mossy Meadow marker and I colored them green, and it just gave it a little bit of spark. So you can decide, do you like the green or the red? I mean, there's no sense to waste the white, right, if you're going to do this card. So you can even color these red, whatever color you wanted, or gold if you had a gold pen. So that is those cards. Now added the bow. Oh, and what I want to talk about is instead of using shimmer trim, I cut a 1/2 inch paper strips. So like out of this, you notice I didn't throw these away. I'm going to cut these into 1/2 inch strips, and I can use either side of these for the divider there. Okay, and then this next one I used the paper. This paper, which I love. I love this paper. And it's polka dot on the back, which is, see, that's the polka dot that I used there. And then what I used for the in-between was the bottom of this green paper. So you save these scraps and cut them into 1/2 inches and use them on the cards. Okay, so let me move these. And here are these cards. So see, they're all the same cards, but just a little bit different. How fun is that? So I've already got 18 cards made for the holidays. Actually, I'm telling you a story. I have 19 cards because I made up another one. So I know some of you, and this, for this card, I used a different ribbon, a more casual ribbon to kind of bring it down. So you can see how the cards are all kind of a little bit different. But if that's just too plain for you and you want to make it fancy dancy, which I know some of you are, let me just show you the same card, the same pattern, but I added an extra layer. I brought in some red. So I brought in cherry cobbler red. I did a little strip down here. I did a strip here. I popped it up with my dimensional elements. I used gold shimmers, and then I took a piece of this paper with the thin cut and pre-cut that out and put an element. But you could easily, if you didn't want to cut your paper up because that paper is too pretty to waste, you can always do a stamped image, which this Golden Greenery stamp set matches it. Or you could do the bells. There's so much that you can do. I mean, I've shown this paper earlier, so you've seen it. But there you go. Simple 20-minute Christmas cards, 6 for 20 minutes. So, you know, think about it. If you needed, I don't know, 36 cards times, you know, that's like maybe an hour and a half. So very, very doable. So that's it for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Ho, ho, ho. July, Christmas in July is over. So Soon we'll be coming out with a new idea book. I've got lots of content to share with you coming up, so stay tuned. Lots of fun stuff on the horizon. Hope you have a great day, and again, happy creating.